The Django framework. In this session, we'll learn about Django and its features, the MVT pattern, creating a project and the project structure, and creating an application. Django is a free and open source web framework written in Python. It follows an MVT pattern and is maintained by the DSF, the Django Software Foundation. Django first showed up in 2003. It is used by big names like Instagram, Mozilla, and Disqus. Pinterest once used this, but then moved to Flask. Frameworks include functionality for trivial tasks like authentication, forms, uploading files, and management panels so we can focus on the things more important. Django lets us quickly build quality web applications. You can install it with pip. Django is scalable. With it, you can just add more web nodes to scale your system horizontally. It is also portable and runs on everything from Windows to Linux. One way Django implements security is by storing hashed passwords and cookies. It also works with formats like HTML, JSON, and XML and supports different client-side frameworks. Django is versatile and can be used to build anything from regular websites to social networks. Django is easy, and features like the built-in admin interface make it easy to build with it. It is also fully functional and finds it easy to switch databases. It also supports many powerful packages. We've heard of the MVC pattern, Model, View, Controller. Django follows the MVT pattern, Model, View, Template. In this, the template is an HTML file mixed with DTL, Django Template Language. Django takes care of the controller part. This is software code and controls the interaction between the model and the view. Whenever a user requests for a resource, Django acts as a controller and checks whether it's available. If the URL maps, the view interacts with the model and renders a template. Django sends back a template to the user as response. Now, to create your first project in Django, you'll need to start a project and move to its directory, perform some migrations and start the server, then set up a database. This can be MySQL, Oracle, SQLite 3, MongoDB, or one of many others. And although Django has its own lightweight web server, you can use your own, like Apache. Whenever the server receives a request for a website, it is passed to Django, which analyzes it. The URL resolver tries to match the URL against a list of patterns top to bottom. When it finds a match, it passes the request to the view, to the associated function. This checks whether the request is allowed. It then generates a response, which then Django sends to the user's web browser. Once you've created a project, this is what your project directory looks like. The project folder, this has multiple files. PyCache holds files like init, settings, URLs, and WSGI. It also has init.py, settings.py for database configuration details, urls.py for links, and wsgi.py for deploying the project over WSGI and communicating with the web server. Manage.py is a script that lets you interact with your project using the command line. You can use this to start the server and also to sync to the database. And db.sqlite3 is the database file for your project. We've created this project. Now we start an application in this using this command. Now inside project 0, we have the following contents. Migrations, which holds another init.py file, init.py, admin.py so we can make the app modifiable in the admin interface, apps.py to hold the names of all the applications, models.py to hold application models, tests.py to hold unit tests for the project, and views.py to hold the application views for the project. You should add your app's name in the list of installed apps in your settings.py. This was a brief on Django with Python. Now let's learn to actually build with it.